What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody had a fun, great opening weekend. So, let's talk about the former running backs in the Colorado Buffaloes running back room and also some of the former staff members. So, let's start with Savion Wilkerson, who transferred to Oregon State University. Savion was 24 of 152, I believe. Excuse me. I take that back. Savion had 24 carries for 158 yards and two touchdowns in a win versus Idaho State. And y'all know what's weird about that situation is that next week Oregon State plays at San Diego State. As y'all know, San Diego State new head coach is ex-Colorado offensive coordinator Sean Lewis. So that's one. Next up, Dylan Edwards had, I believe, 5 rushes for 43 yards in his debut at Kansas State in their win over UT Martin. One touchdown rushing. Receiving wise, Dylan had, I'm trying to find, oh, here it is, 2 for 19 and one touchdown. So, overall yards, he had, what's that, 19 plus 43. He had about, 62 yards overall, sounding like between rushing and receiving. So the only thing about this one is I think Dylan might have just really wanted to go home because that's about what he, was getting at Colorado. He was getting about the same amount of carries and passes. And one of his touchdowns was a pass, one was a rush. And last year at TCU, I can't remember, but he had a lot of yards total. So that's how he debuted at Kansas State. Now let's jump to who we got next. I think we got Savion Wilkerson next. As you guys know, both Savion Wilkerson and Bishop Thomas ended up at Georgia State. And Savion in his debut for Georgia State, they played Georgia Tech. I believe the game was at Georgia Tech. Either or, the game was in Atlanta, so it wasn't a long trip for either team. And Savion had 8 rushes for 47 yards, I believe. Um, this isn't bad. I mean, I know there were some times he was only getting 3, 4 carries a game for the Buffs, but getting 8 in his debut, not bad. So good luck to that young man the rest of the season. All right, and our last running back, Alton McCaskill, who transferred from Houston to Colorado, and now at Arizona State. He had 7 rushes for 17 yards, or 7 rushes for, or 7 attempts for 17 yards, however you want to word it. So I think it's a 2.4 average right now, but we'll see. That was only game one. Hopefully McCaskill can get some more carries and do some great things out there in, was that Tempe? Yeah, Tempe, Arizona. So let's jump to Sean Lewis. Let's check out his offense. Now, Sean Lewis, in his second head coaching debut at San Diego State, led his team to a 45-14 win at home versus an FCS opponent. Now, funny stat. This is a funny stat to me. I don't know if Sean Lewis is trying to make a statement or that's just what happened today. Sean Lewis's running back, Cooper Marquez, or Marquez Cooper, had 27 attempts, ladies and gentlemen, for 224 yards and two touchdowns. So his average was 8.3 yards per carry. 27 attempts he gave a running back. Now, I know y'all remember Mikey Harris, or Michael Harrison. Coach Prime did not put him on scholarship, so Sean Lewis took him with him to San Diego State with him. Uh, Mike, he had 3 receptions for 22 yards, and I believe he caught a 2-point conversion when San Diego State went for 2 points. So that's some interesting stats, And another interesting stat before we get up out of here is, like I said, Sean Lewis, the former head of offensive coordinator, now the head coach, will be taking on a kid he used to have in his offense next week with Hankerson coming to town with Oregon State. So I can't wait to see that matchup or hear about it. I know everybody else is more worried about the Buffs versus Nebraska, but some interesting stats there. Sean Lewis did run the ball a lot, so we'll have to wait and see what this year entails. But week 2, I hope everybody's enjoying the season so far. Peace.